What's good, bearded brethren? This is the breakdown. Baobab oil, the ingredient responsible for most of the vitamin delivery in chocolate Reserve, and the ingredient that solves the stability problem Rosehip ran into. 4 oils in, no grade A yet. Today, that changes. Baobab oil comes from the seeds of Adansonia digitata, the African baobab tree, used across sub-Saharan Africa for generations. But tradition isn't why it scores well here. The chemistry is. Cold pressed and unrefined, it retains the compounds that matter most: phytosterols and multiple forms of vitamin E. Refining removes a significant portion of both. Fatty acid profile documented in Food Chemistry in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology: oleic acid C18-1 33 to 40%, linoleic acid C18-2 26 to 36%, and palmitic acid C16 25 to 30%. Total polyunsaturated content 27 to 39%. Rosehip can reach 70%. That difference is what this whole evaluation comes down to. The ingredient doing the heavy lifting here is palmitic acid. It's a saturated fatty acid. No double bonds, fewer places for oxidation to start. Here's what that means inside the formula. Oleic acid moves into the hair shaft through the penetration window. Linoleic acid supports the skin barrier and ceramide-associated lipids that help keep dark spots from progressing. Palmitic acid protects both from breaking down. That's why baobab holds up far longer than oils dominated by polyunsaturated fats. Shelf life 12 to 18 months under normal storage conditions. Rosehip 3 to 6 months. More of a beneficial fatty acid isn't always better. Once oxidation starts, that advantage is gone. Less of something stable outperforms more of something that's already breaking down on your bathroom shelf. The fatty acids aren't the only part of the story. Baobab carries multiple forms of vitamin E: alpha, gamma, and delta tocopherols. Gamma-tocopherol interacts with certain reactive species differently than alpha. All three are already bioactive. No conversion step required between application and function. It also contains phytosterols. These are beta-sitosterol and stigmasterol. It's associated with skin barrier support and reduced inflammatory signaling. Cold pressed unrefined has substantially more than refined versions. Applied over damp hair in the oil step, oleic acid moves into the shaft, linoleic supports the skin barrier under the beard, palmitic extends how long the protection holds. The tocopherols and phytosterols work at the skin and follicle level, where the inflammatory events that drive PIH begin. Medium weight, lighter than castor, heavier than squalane. Absorbs readily on damp 4C hair without going greasy. Rosehip and baobab are trying to accomplish the same things: barrier support, vitamin delivery, skin support. The difference is stability. Rosehip, linoleic, 35 to 45%, total polyunsaturated content 55 to 70%. Shelf life 3 to 6 months, barrier duration estimated at 4 to 6 hours, oxidation risk high. Baobab, linoleic 26 to 36%, total polyunsaturated content 27 to 39%, shelf life 12 to 18 months, barrier duration estimated 10 to 14 hours, oxidation risk low. Same objective, different stability 6 months after purchase. 8 criteria, same standard, no exceptions. Criterion 1, primary carrier penetration. Oleic C18-1 and linoleic C18-2 both sit inside the penetration window. Chemistry supports penetration on damp, low porosity 4C hair. Passes 1.5 points. Criterion 2, sebum fraction replacement. Linoleic addresses the free fatty acid fraction. It's more stable than rosehip. Oleic contributes partially to the triglyceride fraction. Squalene unaddressed, but it does have the strongest replacement profile in the series so far. Partial, 1 point. Criterion 3, barrier duration. Palmitic acid reduces oxidation rate and extends functional barrier performance. Framework estimates 10 to 14 hours versus 4 to 6 hours for high polyunsaturated oils. Not published measurements for this oil on this hair type, but more reliable through the bottle under real conditions. Passes 1.5 points. Criterion 4, cortex structural reinforcement. Oleic acid conditions the shaft interior. Linoleic supports the outer boundary. Neither provides deep structural reinforcement. Partial, 1 point. Tier 1 total, 5 out of 6. Criterion 5, oxidative stability. 27 to 39% polyunsaturated, palmitic acid stabilizes the formula. Shelf life 12 to 18 months versus 3 to 6 for high polyunsaturated oils. Passes, 1 point. Criterion 6, protein binding safety. No documented concern, no lauric acid. Passes, 1 point. Criterion 7, vitamin E bioavailability. Multiple active tocopherol forms including gamma. Already bioavailable, no conversion required. First oil in the series to earn full marks here. Passes, 1 point. Criterion 8, comedogenic profile, rated 2. Appropriate for daily leave-on facial use. Passes, 1 point. Tier 2 total, 4 out of 4. First perfect Tier 2 score in the series. Total, 9 out of 10. Grade A. Grade A. The system didn't hand it out. The chemistry earned it. Baobab oil has a long history, but history isn't why it earns its place in a 4C formula. It earns its place because the chemistry stays intact long enough to matter. Next week, no new oil, the first 4 scored, 1 leaderboard. Wednesday and Friday, the full recap. I'm Chocolate Montana, your bearded barista. This is The Breakdown. Stay educated, bearded brethren.